What we can say for now, Iveka, is that we'll get further clarity on those details on who is trying to kill the Premier. He says that an offer of about 500,000 rand has been given to the perpetrator or the assassinator who will be performing this duty of getting rid of him on the planet. So he says that 500,000 has probably been promised to that particular individual. What we do know is that the ANC PEC, led by Supra Mahumapelo, did have a provincial executive committee meeting yesterday in Hartbeespoort Dam, where the chairperson of the ANC and Premier did reveal these details, which also prompted the provincial ANC to release out a statement yesterday, along with Brian, from the spokesperson of the provincial government. We'll be speaking to Brian later on today at about 8 o'clock this morning at the provincial office here in Mahikeng around the legislature side to get further clarity on these claims that the Premier is making that someone has tried to assassinate him. But I did have the opportunity of conversing with the Premier yesterday via SMSs, where he literally said that at some point he will speak on these issues himself and he will give further clarity. He's just waiting on the outcomes of the ANC Top 6 meeting that's taking place today, where the president of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, is expected to give feedback to the ANC Top 6 on the meeting he had with Premier Supra Mahumapelo last week, Thursday, after the NWC meeting on Wednesday in Cape Town, where the NWC resolved that the Premier must step down. If he refuses, it will go to the ANC's National Executive Committee, where a vote or a discussion will be taken on whether the Premier should step down or not. So he's probably waiting for the outcomes of that all-important Top 6 meeting that takes place every Monday today. Probably it will be taking place at Luthuli House.
Samkele, how is this being viewed? I mean, what's the general feeling out there? Is this a desperate attempt by Mahumapelo to actually stay in power amid all these calls from his own party, even for him to leave? Or could there be a lot of truth to this, seeing as it's not the first time he's alleged that something like this is being plotted against him? And also, when we see that just last year, there was somebody who was sentenced to some jail time for conspiracy to kill him.
Well, it's rather interesting on how these political assassination stories are playing themselves out. You'd remember that these sort of political assassinations and killings, in fact, have been prominent in the provinces such as the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. So it's rather interesting that it's now taking its form and shape in the Northwest province. Someone was convicted, obviously, for conspiring to kill the Premier Supra Mahumapelo. So he's going back to play that victim thumb card. Whether it's a genuine call or not, we don't know. Only time will tell. But certainly, before we leave this province, and particular Mahikeng, we will try and track down the Premier and ask him these questions himself, so that we don't only speak to relevant government spokespeople or the spokesperson of the ANC in the province, but the question goes to the Premier himself and the ANC chairperson, Supra Mahumapelo. But what we will be waiting for is to hear from him, particularly if he decides to speak tomorrow. As he says, he may be he's pondering speaking tomorrow, depending on the outcomes of the ANC Top 6 meeting that's taking place today. But what's rather interesting was the discussion and the report of the Mail and Guardian on Friday, which said it was the likes of Dakota Legoetu who stood up and said the Premier must step down, and it's that basis which the president of the ANC of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, closed off the ANC NWC meeting with the submissions of Dakota Legoetu. Dakota Legoetu is the former provincial secretary of the ANC here in the Northwest during this era of Premier Supra Mahumapelo and ANC chairperson. Remember that Dakota was elected into the ANC's National Executive Committee at the 54th National Conference in December. Subsequently, he went on to be elected into the National Working Committee and as a deputy national organizer to Senzo Mchunu. So he's a very prominent figure within the ANC setup now, within organizational structures. And he was there during the time that all of these allegations of corruption of the Guptas taking over the Northwest government as well, through their close relationship with Premier Supra Mahumapelo. So he knows all the dealings that were going on within this provincial government, and subsequently, and it's rather surprising that he himself has not been entangled in any allegations of corruption and fraud and wrongdoing in the province. So I've asked him that question many times. He just simply said, Samkele, I was there to perform a duty as the ANC's provincial secretary, organize and build the ANC. I had no issue and no business interfering in governance. So it's rather interesting now that he is amongst those ANC and WC members who are pushing for the resignation of the premier in this province.